Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. This is Pippin Penny, and welcome to Show and Tell number 142. What's wrong? He just begged to come in here and be held, and now he's like, no, you started talking. I don't want to. Cats. It's like having toddlers. Anyway, I hope you guys have had a wonderful, fantastic week. I've cuddled some cats. I've done some crocheting. Didn't really do any knitting, and I did a whole lot of purging. So I have now filled the trash can up twice. We normally have like 3 bags of trash, so filling up the outdoor trash can is kind of a big deal. We do it at like Christmas and Thanksgiving when we have company, and that's the only time we ever do it. So I got a whole bunch of stuff just thrown away that was garbage that needed to be thrown out of the house. And then I also took an entire carload, backseat, floorboards, trunk of my SUV, completely slot full of stuff to the Goodwill. So all of that stuff got dropped off. I feel a little bit lighter getting all that stuff out of my house. So there was, I think 6 bags in the picture I shared with you guys last week. I added another 4 bags, 2 totes, and a bin to the stack of stuff that I showed you guys that I was donating last week. So I almost kind of doubled the amount that was sitting there, but I'm just like, so I've done most of the master, most of the guest room, and those are really the 2 places where stuff accumulates, other than obviously the craft room, which eventually I'm going to have to do, but that's not today's problem. I'll end up getting distracted and making stuff, and that's not the goal here. That's not the purpose. So this will have to be like the very last thing that I try to touch is the craft room. Now, probably not much yarn is going to go away, but we might see some like paper products, duplicate paper pads, things like that getting purged out, or things that I'm just never going to do or use. I don't know. Now he's asking to get out of the craft room. He's poking at the door. I just can't win for losing with him. He spent the last hour with me carrying him around the house. And then wanted to, I put him down, came downstairs, and he's like, no, hold me, hold me, hold me. And then he's like, no, I want back out of here. Anyway. Anyhoo's. Oops, sorry. That's my standard, like, flavored water. Zip Fizz flavored water. So, what did I do this week? Other than drooling at some delicious food pictures. Oh, my great giddy aunt. Somebody made a pot pie. I don't like pot pie. I don't know why I don't like pot pie. I will never understand it. I love all the ingredients that go into pot pie. Somebody made a chicken pot pie and showed a picture of like right before they put the top on the pie, and they did the full lattice work and everything on it. And it looked so amazing. And I'm just like, I can smell it from here. It smells amazing. And then I'm like, I don't like pot pie. I make so many pot pies for Troy, especially that first like 5 years of marriage. I kept trying to find one that I really liked. I love the way they smell. I love making them. Can't stand eating them. And then like Gary over at Urban Yarn, I think he said it was his mother-in-law made a strawberry rhubarb pie. And I'm just like, I want it so bad. I want it so bad. And then this morning, somebody made a double choc milk chunk cookie. It was a malted cookie base with milk chunks. And she said it's not milk chocolate. It's not white chocolate. It's like some sort of, they're scratching out there, some sort of milk cube that looks like a chocolate chunk. And she said it's kind of like a hard version of like the milk gummies in Australia and Asia. And I was like, so dark chocolate with milk chips in a malt cookie. Anyway, yeah, I've been looking at some delicious food, none of which I can eat. I did share a picture of my neighbor is in the process of trying to change her diet over until her allergist gets back with her. And one of the things she can't have right now is gluten or wheat. Anyway, so she's trying the gluten-free Oreos, and she brought me two the other morning. Those are actually really good. Those are really good. And I shared a picture on, it'll be at the end of this video too, but I shared a picture on Instagram of Banner investigating one of the cookies, which was really funny. And he did turn around and try to steal the cookie right after that picture was taken. I spend so much time, cats. Anyway, so I made some things. I did some things. I did bring some WIPs down with me too, but I did kind of complete some things. I made some more granny squares. So I am done. I have a couple skeins of yarn that are enough to do the 2 rounds, just to give me some different. But I did finish these. So somebody asked me the other day a very sensible question. Why don't I take the rest of the scraps and just make even more scrappy things? Well, that's because I have another scrap gang going. So those are going to be going into the corner to corner scrap gan. So I now have 2 project bags full of scraps for that. Because scrap gans. But yeah, so I got 4 more granny squares done. I do now have, since I cleaned out the guest room closet, I cleared a tote that has a fitting locking lid. So I will be able to drop my granny squares into that. I will put one of my little clippies with the information of how I was doing these, just in case I forget what these are. So it'll say that it was the size I hook, worsted weight yarn, 10 round grannies, only 10 round solid or 8 round solid with a 2 round border of a coordinate color. I still need to clip my project bags, but I do have the clips out. Because I cleaned my bedroom, I found my box of clips. They're just like the little badge clips that like you put the little name tag in and they like clip onto your clothing. Anyway, so I'm excited to have all of my full skeins, single skein, leftover scrappy done. I will now be taking the corner to corners traveling with me, so don't worry. We will still have weekly blocks to share, not to mention I'm still working on my spring blanket, which we will be talking about in just a minute. So yeah, we have plenty of scraps we'll still be playing with. Up next, I made another Wrap Me an Ice Cream shawl. Because I enjoyed it so much last week, I decided to make another one. And like I told you guys, I was kind of playing with color controlling 2 cakes. So these are the sugar wheels, I think they're called, from Hobby Lobby. And this is 2 of them. And oddly enough, there's no transition between the cakes reds, or the 2 cakes light pink, or the 2 cakes gray. But for some reason, the dark browns were 2 different colors, which worked. I mean, I was able to make that even work into the shawl too. I have not blocked this. I think I still have a couple ends left to weave in. Banner loves attacking the ends as I'm trying to weave them in, so it does take me a little while. But I do like how this turned out. I think this turned out real nice. But I did completely color control. Everything where the color actually changes happens on an edge, including where my brown changed colors. So I did actually fully color control a project. It seems a little pointless to buy a cake yarn if you're just going to color control it, but it was still fun. Normally I just pick patterns where it doesn't matter, it'll hide in if I have an abrupt change, color change. But this is not a color set I would have put together. I might have put these together with like these 2, or I might have put these 3 together. The gray and brown combo is just so weird. Once again, the pattern for this will be in the description box down below, but I think it's from Left and Knots. I forgot to double check before I started filming. But it's just that same open work with the cross stitch. Great texture, great pattern. This one does not need to be blocked nearly as much as the other one, other than it just needs to be opened up a little bit drape wise. And I want to true up this top edge. And yes, I am wearing my Batman shirt today because I'm Batman. I finally found a girl fit Batman shirt that I liked. But yeah, there we go. I'm the secret Batman. Enjoying. This week's shawl is something different. It has started as a magnificent mantle, I believe is what it's called. I will put the description, I will link the pattern in the description box down below, and it's by Crochet Kitten, I think. One day I'm going to remember to bring my notes down, or, you know, write notes down. One or the other, some combination of both. I'm sorry. I'm very, very thirsty. It's not that hot here. It's in the 70s. But it's so humid. So humid. It's so humid you cannot perspire. We got rain yesterday. We've had like a really pleasant, since I've mentioned the weather, other than the fact it's like raining here or cloudy there, like we've had some really pleasant weather for the most part for the last couple of weeks, but we are coated in the yellow stuff. We did not get enough rain yesterday for the yellow stuff to wash away. And we were supposed to get thunderstorms. I took yesterday off thinking I was going to tuck in. I had the 2 little gluten-free Oreos, which were going to be this little treat because I don't normally eat sugar. And I was like going to have a cup of tea with my little Oreos and watch the thunderstorm through my big back windows. And we got a little drizzle all day. Oh, I did actually bring this down. Yeah, Magnificent Mantle by Crochet Kitten. I was right. I just, I believe it is a paid for pattern. I believe I got it when she was running some sort of sale. All right. So we're going to talk about some fun stuff. So everybody said the same thing pretty much. They love last week's shawl. They like how the cakes marled together. That's why I do that a lot with the mandala cakes. The DK weight cakes, especially when you go up to like the K hook, I absolutely love working them 2 at a time and getting that marled effect. And the way the colors change inside the work, if you're holding 2 together, they normally, like, you don't need to color control unless, like I said last week, you know, you have some big jump where you go from like a really bright color to something polar opposite. You really, for most stitches, don't need to worry about changing those out. So that is one of the reasons why I do it. I love the marl look. You never know what fabric you're going to end up with and how the colors are going to end up stacking. And this is a prime example of that. So the 2 cakes that I pulled for this week's shawl, and I'm filming this on Tuesday or Thursday. So like this is going to go up on the day I'm filming it. So I did start my shawl on Wednesday. The Wednesday after Easter is when I finished my last shawl. Somebody asked me about that too, but that's a whole nother story. So I'm doing one in Far, Far Away and one in Mermaid Cove. Looking at these, you would think those are going to blend really nicely. I'm telling you, I don't know if I like this or not. You never know how it's going to turn out. This is turning out so crayon-y looking. I guess with the and it's funny because the only thing I can think is what's it, AKA the sorority. Like that's all I can see when I see the hot pink with the green. I think that's the right one I'm thinking of. But it's so funny, like once I hit that, like I just kept seeing all the license plates, the license plate frames, and that's just it just hit me. But I really don't like how the yellow ended up looking neon. It's true yellow. It's not really a neon yellow. It's bright, but it's like crayon yellow. Yaller. But I don't like the way it's stacked up against the lavender. I do like the way it's stacked up against this like periwinkle and the blue. And then we shifted into this like speckled white, and I like how those look. But this is really bugging me. And then when I look at how it's actually going to be faced like this, there's going to be a border of lace work that goes around the outside. And that's going to be 2 Mermaid Cove cakes, I think. I'm not feeling this so far. I'm going to keep rolling with it though, because, and this is one of the things I wanted to mention with you guys, somebody said they have a bunch of one-off cakes and they wonder if this will work. Yes, normally doing the 2 at a time work great if you only have one color of each cake. I don't know why this one is turning out so muddled looking, and so to me this visually looks very muddy, but it could just be there's not enough colors added in. As I've said before, when it comes to scrap projects, the more colors you add, the better the overall appearance. It looks more unplanned. But when you look at what I was working with, I mean, there's no reason. And there was that bright yellow and the white in the center of the pink. Like, there's no reason these colors shouldn't have looked good together. I don't know. I don't know why this is just not visually working for me. But like I said, I'm going to keep rolling with it. We're going to see how it turns out. If this isn't one of my best looking ones, that's fine. Every project, even if it's not what you think it's going to be, every project's going to have somebody who loves it. So it might not be your project. It might not be something that the person you intended for it to go to is going to love it. You will find the right recipient for every project. My favorite color is not brown, but I can tell you my neutral color shawls that I've made over the years, those are some of the fastest ones that go out the door. The solids and the neutrals. And that's just not normally my thing. Normally my thing is blending some colors together and seeing what happens. And you know, a lot of us love those too. So anyway, the other thing I want to share with you guys is I am working on my spring blanket. So I don't think, oh, no, I did. So I finished 4 inner circles yesterday. I've been kind of working on these hit or miss. Now that I finished the granny squares, these are what I'm working on at night in bed while I'm waiting to finish falling asleep. I'm up to 4 rounds on some. I haven't restacked these since I put these in the hospital bin and last time I shared this on a video, quite a few guys were like, oh, is everything good? This is ancient. It's one of those you paid for it, take it with you. Though they do make great bins for things like this when you're just trying to sort things and keep them out of your cat's hands. So as I'm working these, and I mentioned this when I was working on the fall blanket too, you know, I kind of just pick a color and start doing like some 2 rounds and 1 rounds and just start building circles at random. And then I've got my little centers here. But yeah, I'll do the first round and I'll do some that are round 2. And then, I bring in the second color and I'll do I'll do like 2 centers, 1, 2 round. See whether or not I want to stack the colors to make a 2 round, or for this one, I'm doing something kind of fun. So these 3 all have something in common. So what I did, this was the first single round I did, and this was the first twosie that I did. Then when I brought in the yellow, I was like, ooh, we got a pale. So I did the 2 round and this one. And then I decided we're going to alternate colors. So we went purple, yellow, green. In the bold one, we go green. Then we got baby pink, We've got the coral color. We've got the coral color, and I did 2, 1, 2, 1. And then we've got the lavender. And then that had finished off this one. So then I started, what is it? Donde está? It's the blue one, blue center. The next single. So we've got the blue and the dark blue, the pale green. Which one am I looking at? The pale green. And the last thing I was working on last night was yellow, the bolder yellow, because I've got 2 shades of that. And then the other one that I finished, I was just having fun playing with the tone on tone. So I did 3 rounds and the 2 pinks, because the coral color is very pinkish. And then I played with the lavender and the periwinkle color. I technically have 3 purples going in this, but this color I only have a very, very small ball of. So I'm trying to extend it. And I am thinking, if I have to, I do have a couple colors that are more like this, but I think these are too deep. They're too saturated. It's not that they're too deep. They're too saturated for what I would have to really balance that with like a pastel version of that. But yeah, so I think right now I've got like some part of another 20 blocks in here, and I have 10 already done. I think what I'm going to do, instead of, so my original blanket was 7 blocks by 6 blocks. I think what I'm going to do, instead of doing 42 blocks, I'm going to do 52 blocks. And when I go to lay them out, like I said, when I shared the ones that had the solids, the pale yellow and one of the other colors, the pale pink, just did not, there wasn't enough, it's not separation, but the colors weren't different enough from each other to read as being different at a distance. They were showing in person as being very the same. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll do an extra 10 blocks. Maybe I'll just take it up to 50. And we'll see. I'll start like pre-laying out the blocks and see if I need those extra blocks or which blocks I'm going to swap in. And maybe what I'll do is do like a little pillow cover or something. I don't know. But I'm having fun with it. I'm enjoying it. So that's what I've been working on this week, is finishing up these. I'm going to finish up this. We have some things we're going to be doing over, let's see, probably not too much before I film again. But after that video, I've got a lot of stuff going on between then and Easter. So I'm really excited to see what happens. And I'll tell you guys about it as everything is going. I am, and I'm sorry, it does take me a long time to do certain things. I don't have the freedom in my schedule to just, anytime I want to do things, but I am still trying to work on the tutorial with the braided border. If you can't wait for that border for me to do a video, just search in the YouTube search bar for crochet braided border. I'm sure there are plenty of tutorials out there for it. And like I've said before, I'm not the best at doing tutorials, so you might be better off. It's not complicated, but there is a lot visually going on. So you might be better off just seeing if somebody else already has a tutorial out there for it. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not going to hurt my feelings at all. I want you to finish the blankets you have already started. So anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic day. As for the last couple videos we've done here, just stay tuned and see pictures of the kitty cats and see what they've been up to. I did try to get some clips of them with their play fighting. They've been electing to come downstairs to play fight, so it's very hard to get video evidence of them being rough with each other. Other than that, Banner's growing like a weed. Like he'll go through these phases where he won't eat more than about 6 ounces of food a day. And then one day he's like, I'm going to eat all the food. And he'll eat like 14 ounces of food. His tummy gets really fat and pudgy by the end of the day. And it'll go on for like 3 days where he eats like that. And then I swear he grows 1.5 inches. He's not getting thicker. I still can't put his collar on him. I've got it tightened down as tight as it will go. And it's a kitten size collar. It's not a big collar, but I've got it tightened as tight as it will possibly go. And he can still grab it and put it in his mouth. And then it's not so loose that it immediately falls out of his mouth. But if I put it that loose around his neck, because his neck is so skinny, he has got this skinniest little, it's like he's got a little fluffy softball size thing on a toothpick. It would just, like, if he bent his head down, it would slide off his entire head if I made it any looser, so it would just fall out of his mouth. So I still can't keep his collar on him. I had to watch him that first few hours after I put it on, and then I realized he's still just not big enough for his collar. So I don't think I got any pictures this time of him trying to play with it, because it jingles. It's got a jingle bell on it, so he likes to sit there and play with it, and he likes to chew on the bell and do that and make it jingle. So I just don't feel, I mean, he can get it back out of his mouth. I just don't feel safe leaving him for any length of time with his collar on like that, if that's what is going to happen with it. But I did try to get the play fighting videos. He is growing. He's just not getting any thicker. He's just getting long. So it's really funny, but they're both very cuddly. They're both very sweet. I got a picture of them last night laying on my lap that I'll share, but y'all enjoy the kitten content, and I hope you're having a wonderful, fantastic day. As always, I look forward to seeing you guys real soon. I love you guys, and if you have any questions, leave them in the description box down below, or feel free to email me or message me on Instagram. I'll be honest, sometimes it takes me forever to get back with people. Other times I get back with people really fast. Life, it is what it is. Anyway, you guys, wow, you guys, I'll see you guys real soon. Love you guys.